To save the future, the past must be sacrificed.
Disintegration, cleansing, annihilation.
Hey guys, just wanted to go over my Energy Blade CI Arc Ignite build. So this is an endgame variant of the build. It's quite expensive, but it does come with the advantages that it's got pretty good damage for Arc Ignite and defenses are quite decent. So yeah, this build's just, it's an off-meta build. It's not really as good as some of those meta builds like Wanders and stuff. But it is a cozy playstyle with Ignite. It's constantly doing dot damage, and if you really like the clear of Arc, this is built for you. Yeah, so it can do most content in the game. Can do Ubers, T17s. So how does this build work? We're using Arc, which does lightning damage, and we're converting it to an Ignite using Elementalist's Shaper of Flames, which allows all damage to ignite. And to get our very high base damage, we are using Energy Blade right here. So this converts a portion of our energy shield into flat lightning damage. As you can see here, we get 228 to 4,547 base lightning damage, and we are converting that into spell damage with Spellblade Sport, which causes supported skills to have added spell damage equal to 145% of the damage of our one-hand melee weapon. So that's a lot of damage. And there's a few cool things we can use to boost our damage further. As you can see on Energy Blade, the quality gives us more maximum energy shield, because normally Energy Blade reduces our energy shield. So we can add additional quality to negate this effect with Ashes of the Stars and Enhance. And then if you get a craft +2 level of socketed support gems on your shield with Enhance in there, it'll boost your Enhance even more. So we get Energy Blade giving us a bit less of a debuff. Apart from that, some other cool tech in this build. You can use this Rune Grafts of Gemcraft. This gives us +1 level of exceptional support gems. So the main point of this is boosting your spell blade, because that scales quite well with levels, and also boosts a bunch of our awakened support gems, which is pretty nice. We also have this new rune graft of refraction. It allows our chain skills to chain an additional time, which is really good for arc because it scales with chains. You get a little bit, maybe like 5% more damage from that, and then we do have better clear as well. And finally, the other thing is this new Foulborn jewel, I guess. The Blue Dream. Basically, the new line says any passives granting lightning res or all elemental res grant max ES at the same value. And you also get the line with 10% lightning damage as extra chaos damage, which is a good buff to damage. The main thing is the energy shield line. So if we put it in here and we tattoo all these nodes into lightning, that's 24%. Lightning res there. This armor ES node gives 8%, and this passive notable gives another 12%. So all up, that's about like 44% increased ES just from this node and the surrounding passives, which is pretty good for our energy shield. So in terms of defenses, we have a few defenses. We have a pool of 10.7k energy shield. We're using Mageblood with these Sapphire, Topaz, Ruby flasks to get our max res up. And then in terms of fizz mitigation, we have the Eldritch mods on the helmet and the chest, which convert physical damage hits from hits taken as chaos damage. So that converts a bit of it. And then of course we have Shaper of Flames, which enemies ignited by you have 40% fizz damage. They deal converted to fire. So this stacks multiplicatively with these mods. So I think it ends up being about 33% fizz damage reduction in the calculation, but that is still good. And then on the shield we have a bunch of block, spell block, and recover energy shield when you block. So 5% is like 500 ES on block, and we're blocking 3/4 of the hits we take. So that helps keep us topped up. And in terms of our block numbers, we have 78% spell block, 72% attack block, and I have this note here, Enduring Composure gives us an endurance charge if we've been hit recently, so that includes if we've blocked, and with that we are getting about 3 endurance charges all the time, so that gives us a bit more elemental and physical mitigation. And in terms of the mods this build can't do, the ones that it really can't do is LA Reflect. It cannot regen life mana or ES. Avoid elemental ailments. When this gets scaled up, it's pretty much like 99%, so you won't do any damage. And then the chance to block, reduced chance to block one. You can technically run this, but it's a lot rippier. So I wouldn't recommend that. So in terms of how this build plays, you basically just shield charge around the map, just cast Arc. You see a pack. And yeah, just make sure your Cinder Swallow is up when you're running around, because that onslaught gives you a lot more smoothness in playstyle and a bit of movement speed. So when you get to the boss or a tanky mob, just drop your brand, use your smite, make sure your Cinder Swallow's up, and then you just Val Arc and then Arc. Keep arcing and brand, and got that pretty quick, but it's a bit tankier. You also shield charge to activate your graft. Call the Pyre ability, which covers enemies in Ash on hit, so it means they'll take 20% increased fire damage. So yeah, you can just add the shield charge into your rotation, and that debuff lasts about 4 seconds. Just going over the gear, yeah, we have just the normal sword with the 1 abyssal socket, so when you activate Energy Blade, it replaces all the mods, but you keep the sockets, so it's a good way to make use of this if you have the spare sockets. For the hat, gloves, and boots, just generic high ES int res. Same for the body armor, it's just int high ES res. Ashes, just a block and a recover ES on block shield. I have Mageblood here. Let's go over this one later. A Replica Emberwake, this gives us a lot more DPS. Normally I don't like using this because the reduced ignite duration feels pretty bad, especially with Ignite Prolif, but I'm foregoing Ignite Prolif on this build just because of this new ring. So it's the double 2 mod Foulborn Berek's Respite, which means you get the double explode, which can chain off each other. Yeah, this basically means you don't really need Ignite Prolif because the whole pack just explodes, and then Arc can chain to like another pack as well. You don't really need this. If it's too expensive, you can just use a normal like a 1 mod Berek's Respite and then try and get Ignite Prolif either on the gloves or on one of your medium cluster jewels. And the clears just feels a little bit worse, but yeah, this thing is pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.